I'm feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm loving Cloud City, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo, I'm on solo. Yeah, I'm feeling good tonight. Finally feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Golden Dice Podcast. This is episode number 62. I just had a full bowl of chili, so we're going to see if I make it through this episode. But with me, I got my trusty sidekicks in Flockdaddy and Brian. How are you guys tonight?
I'm doing about same as you with that bowl of chili.
Good.
I'm doing pretty well.
Good. Cool. Well, with us, we have a special guest tonight. His name is Andrew Adam Reflex, 3-game champ, Dalvin Cook, Ruffles, Clocks, Grandpa, Mill, $32, Cox. How are you, Cox?
That's impressive. I don't think I've ever heard someone say that all out loud, like in voice before. That's impressive.
How's it feel? Did it feel good to have the whole?
Yeah, it was nice. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, that's probably the best intro I've ever gotten.
Did you get to practice that, Jack?
No, I practiced nothing for this.
All right. That's awesome. That's epic.
But yeah, Reflex, you're part of ABG now, I guess, right? Technically, you got traded for.
I don't know if the paperwork has ever been finalized. I'm still waiting. I was supposed to get a physical at one point or something, and they never set me up with the doctors. So,
well, yeah,
it's still we're not sure.
Well, it's like the head coach and Drew wanted you, but he retired now, so you're not sure if the new head coach Paul wants you. It's like that weird.
Exactly. Yeah.
Weird flux. That's fair.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I'm basically Tim Tebow, like is what happened.
You threw your playoff game versus the Steelers was Gen Con.
Yeah.
And, 2018, right?
Yep. With
the last second overtime pass.
Yeah, and then I never got the respect I deserved, so it's great.
Absolutely.
Perfect, yeah.
All right, well, yeah, Reflex, this is your first time on with us, so we got a few questions of just general Star Wars and then also kind of Destiny questions that we'll get through, and then we're going to talk about some of the spoilers that have dropped since we last recorded, and also, obviously, the hot topic of the updated rules reference. So, Reflex, what's your favorite and least favorite Star Wars movie?
Oh, boy, this is going to be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
My least favorite Star Wars movie is Episode 7.
All right.
My favorite, so my real favorite is probably Rogue One, but just for the memes, Episode 8 is definitely in my top 3. So let me know how you feel about that one.
How'd you say something so brave and so controversial?
It's just my opinion, man. You're allowed to be wrong.
That's big true.
You might be the first guest that has said Episode 8. Although maybe Jedi Geek Girl did. I don't remember.
Nah, she said Episode 3, I think.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, 3 is her favorite.
That's okay. That's like, if you're gonna pick one, that one's okay.
Honestly,
I think Rogue One is probably my favorite. But Episode 8 is definitely in my top. It might be number 2, but it's no farther than 3.
Yeah, I think Rogue One is hands down my favorite Disney movie that's come out so far.
Yep.
I love it. And it's definitely up there for all-time favorite. But Mandalorian's been great. No, it's not a movie, but in terms of Disney content with Star Wars,
I've been loving it for sure. Yeah, it's like our Friday lunch routine. So it's been great so far.
My wife wanted to watch it with me, and I'm always down to watch whatever with her. But I was like, just so you know, like I'm plugged in to the internet pretty much all day at work through Discords and stuff. So I'm gonna have to watch it before I go to work, which means that you'll have to watch it before you go to work. So every Friday we're up at 6 a.m. and watch the episode awesome. Real quick.
It's really annoying. I drive to work and I get your messages in the channel, and it's like, oh well, all right, I didn't quite see it yet, but I have to watch it as soon as I get to work too.
See, that's the benefit of working from home.
As soon as you get to work.
Oh yeah, as soon as I get
to work, I gotta watch it.
I just take my lunch, walk outside, and we watch The Mandalorian. It's been great.
That's solid. Cool. All right. First episode 8 on the podcast. I dig it. What got you into Destiny? How did you learn about the game?
So my first ever competitive tabletop game was X-Wing, which some people have definitely heard me talk about before. So I got into that and had started playing that locally and had been playing that for, I think, about a year when Destiny came out. And then a bunch of the X-Wing guys when people play FFG games, apparently they play all of them. So a bunch of them had picked it up and gotten some starters. And we were lucky enough to still have product in stock. So I was like, yeah, I'll check this out. And buying that starter was the worst thing that ever happened because I was hooked immediately. Went out and bought like 6 boxes, and then I was it was picked up to be that like in between X-Wing game filler, and it slowly overtook and became the main game I've been playing. So
I was gonna say, would you say that Destiny is your main game?
It's I probably have to at this point, but a lot of that has to do with it's just a lot easier to play. Online or in person, it's just quicker and easier. But I probably spend about equal time between the two of them.
Gotcha. And you're in terms of your name, the 3-game champ. The other one's Imperial Assault, right?
It is, yeah. So that comes back from I won a regional for all 3 games in the same season.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty
that's
crazy.
where I think it comes from. Yeah, Imperial Assault's the other one I played. Yeah, I did play 2 Worlds ago. I played all 3 at Worlds, and that was a time.
That sounds awful. Like amazing, but awful at the same.
Yeah, I was 1 game from missing the cut in all 3.
Wow.
It was a rough weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. That's got to be draining too, to be like that on top for all those hours.
Yep. Yeah. Thankfully, I got a day off, not making Destiny Day 2, but
there you go. It was planned that way, right?
yeah, for sure.
Do you?
I at least avenged myself this year.
Yeah, that's fair. What was it? Top 16?
Top 16, yeah.
Nice. So you got your invite already for next year?
Yeah, I then won a regional for X-Wing like 3 weeks later, so I broke my record of last year December having both locked up by having them both locked up in November this year.
There you go.
So another season to just hang out and have fun.
Hey, one day Golden Dice will win something. One day we'll be relevant. Flockton's gonna.
You have credibility, man. You got that top 16 at Worlds. Like everyone respects you for sure.
I will ride that until I die.
Hey man, what do you think Biggie's been riding?
Was it top 8 at that Worlds?
Oh, I should know this. I think it's top 16, but I could be wrong. And Biggie, I'm so sorry if it was top 8, but I want to say it was top 16 as well.
Gotcha.
I think he lost to Joe in the top 16 is what it was.
No, I did. So if he'd lost to Joe, then it was top 8.
Oh, then maybe it was top 8.
Yeah, Joe
All right,
crushed
we'll say
my
top
souls.
8. We'll say top 8.
Yeah, we'll give it to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Joe crushed my soul. Which is
Yeah, he
funny
does
because
that.
we paired in round like 6 of day 1, but then there was a repair. And it's like in hindsight,
Nice.
I was like, thank the Lord that happened.
Yep. I know that feeling.
All right, so when did you get into Destiny? I'm sorry, what was the time frame? Were you here for Awakenings or Spirit?
Yeah, I was in at launch. So
Oh, launch, nice.
yeah, so my local stores are cool stuff. So we had starters and product in stock, and we were pretty lucky they were able to get a decent amount. So I never had a problem with the product shortage, thankfully. And so yeah, I came in right at launch.
Awesome. So since you've been playing, what has been your favorite meta so far?
I mean, I know it's the like answer everyone gives, but I think it really is true, and I don't think it's close. It's definitely Legacies. That World's meta was open in the true sense of open, in that you could play everything and everything was fairly close. Not the like open meta we have now, where you can play stuff and then you win based on who you play against.
Yeah.
Like the Legacies meta was just so good. There was so much diversity. So many new decks came out. You could play almost any different style, and you had a chance at winning the tournament. I just Legacies, I don't see any meta ever beating that.
Yeah, definitely a hard one to top. Do you have like a favorite like set specifically, like a set that came out and you enjoyed, even if it wasn't necessarily like the meta that followed?
I mean, Sabine came out in Empire at War, so like I should pick that one. My favorite set, I think probably. Man, I feel like it has to be Legacies. Like I feel like that was so balanced, and really introduced some new cool stuff. Like indirect damage came out there. There's just some classic characters that have been like part of the competitive scene, but not like overbearing. Whereas I think like Way of the Force was a pretty cool set, but I think a lot of those characters have been like Snoke was a problem. Like it just like really created a problem. I don't really can't think of any Legacies cards, and I'm sure I'm missing some that like really broke the game and like had to be heavily errated.
I don't think so. I mean, even looking at the holocron here, we got like in terms of Rata, we got Convergence, Legacy. Well, Maul's lightsaber, but I think that's the only thing on here. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we had the reset deck, right? That
Yeah.
was in Legacies.
Yep, Seven Sister reset.
Yeah, that's reasonable. But like, I don't know.
But that
In
got
the
hit pretty
grand scheme
quick.
of things, that's like not that bad compared to what else we've seen.
No, yeah, because it was relatively short. Like when it was around, it was pretty brutal, but it did have like a certain like level you needed to play it at, because some people would just
Right.
their seventh sister would die and then they lost.
Yeah, me. I did that. There was one Artificery League where Joe's like, I got this deck. It's great. And so me, him, and Mike all submitted it. And I don't remember how Joe did, but I know me and Mike lost in the first round. So that was the last time I ever took a Joe deck to a tournament.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I looked at it and I like tried it once and I was like, I get it. It popped off. I understand. But I was like, I'm definitely going to show up somewhere and they're going to kill Seven Sister real quick. So I'll just play Sabine and be the person that hopefully kills Seven Sister real quick.
I mean, yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Way of the Force was really cool. I enjoyed that set, but I think there was definitely some problem cards in there. Obviously, that's my big win came out of Way of the Force, so there's a little bit of nostalgia. But I think Legacies is probably the best set that the game has made.
Yeah, I agree. For my guess for you would have been Way of the Force, just because of Anakin as Pod Racer and Leia came out of that set.
Yeah,
I know you've become a mill guy since Sabine.
I guess. I mean, they took my Sabine away from me. What else am I supposed to do?
Yeah. She's
All
coming
they have
back.
to do is give me Sabine back, and I won't play mill anymore.
She's coming back, but in a less
Yeah.
exciting manner.
I have the foil. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Cool. And then our last question for you. This is team-based and I guess subjective. But how does it feel to be the most successful looper? Are you the most successful looper? You got the Gen Con plus Prime wins. I mean, Joe has 2 Nova wins, right?
Yeah, Joe has 2 majors. Well, no, he has the Gen Con and Nova, so he has 2
Oh,
majors.
that's right.
Bounce also has 2 majors. It's close. I probably have more overall tournament wins because of the regionals. I have 3 regionals now. I don't know, man. It's what it is. Like I'm more concerned with us being the best team than me being the best player. So I will hang my hat on. I made it the farthest at Worlds this year. So
Yeah.
I'll take that. But we're the best team of 8 players, not necessarily the best 8 players, is how I like to say it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just trying to see if I could bait you, But all right, you foiled my trap. It's fine.
You can't get me on the team stuff, man. I'm a team guy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You're getting traded. I wasn't sure, But all right.
Oh, we're firing 8 shots at ABG?
Feel free. Do what you like.
I'm not under contract yet. I'm still waiting for my signing bonus.
Oh, okay.
I was promised a jersey. That's all it took.
That's all it took. Yeah, Drew told me that story where you guys were hanging out and you're just like, yo, you guys were like arguing about certain things or whatever, and Drew was like, I don't know, Reflex won this or has more regional wins or whatever it was, and then he's like, yeah, I can also get you a jersey, and he's like, and that's how I got Reflex on APG. It's like, man.
It doesn't take much, man.
It's like, I guess I got to get Golden Dice, jerseys.
All you
got
gotta
to
do is beat. I've gotten 2 hoodies now, so all you gotta do is beat 2 hoodies.
Beat 2 hoodies. Interesting. I got stickers. I
I don't think I have a Golden Dice sticker on my deck box. We need to fix that.
We just got them, so
Okay.
that's probably the.
I'll definitely pick one up. I gotta rock the Golden Dice. I have the old school swdestiny.com sticker on there.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was
That's how you know the OG.
That was Mike Rudin, right?
That was Mike Rudin, man.
Man, that's crazy.
I miss that guy. He was a great time.
Yeah. R.I.P. Jedi Trials and all of them.
Yeah.
But
Red Hero, it's time.
yeah, I know Red Hero starts being decent and he's gone. C-3PO's
Yeah.
here and D-House is nowhere to be found.
I know, man.
All right, cool. All right, so that was just a general intro of kind of who you are and kind of how you got into Destiny, all those things. So we're going to dive into the spoiler recap. We'll just go through the order that's posted in my Discord just for the sake of that. So we got these red villain ones in Commander Pyre. These were brought to us by Discarded Reroll just yesterday on Tuesday. So it is still pretty fresh. I'll at least just say Commander Pyre is a First Order Stormtrooper die with a focus on it as well. 11, 14, 11 health, a leader trooper, and then after you claim or take control of the battlefield, you may deal 1 indirect damage to an opponent. Seems like my overall impression is that like goes directly to Phasma, where Phasma is like 1 point cheaper and kind of has a similar but potentially better die, I guess would be right. Yeah, the special would just replace the 2 for 1. And same health? No, less health. She has 10, right?
I think she's 10.
Yep,
Yeah.
10.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Part of me is just like Pyre doesn't seem overall greater than Phasma, but if there's a way to break or just really abuse that ability, it could be relevant. Like if you can get it off more than 3 times, it could add up. But I'm not overly impressed. Although I guess the ruling, we talked a little bit about this just before the cast, but people are debating if you claim the battlefield from your opponent having it, do you get to deal 1 indirect or 2 indirect? Just because the wording on claim the battlefield says like take control of the battlefield if you don't have it and use its claim ability or whatever it might be. The wording on that exactly made it seem like you would get 2 indirect off a claim when an opponent has it. So if that's true, that could be pretty relevant too if you can.
But doesn't like the
claim.
or change it? I don't know. The or makes it feel like after you claim or, so you do either one.
Well,
Right.
I think that's
the argument
intention.
though is that so when you claim it, that triggers the ability once, and then as part of the claim action, you take control, so
Oh,
it triggers it
yeah.
again.
Gotcha. Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with that, but
Yeah.
it's ambiguous enough, and I think we're waiting on a ruling from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the intention was what you said,
SSG.
Flock, where it would just be you claim and deal 1, even if your opponent
Yeah.
has it. But as Reflex pointed out, it's a little unsure and just kind of.
That's how I would rule it as 1 damage right now if I had to make a call. But I understand the argument at least.
Yeah, certainly. Do you guys feel like he's going to have a overall impact? I keep saying she because I'm just thinking Phasma when I see different color first ordered
He's
uniforms.
shiny gold.
Yeah. It is awesome. I mean, I will say too, I'm excited to see Resistance in the game. I know some people are a little like frustrated about the artwork, mostly looking at Tora and Blue Ace, I think.
I like
But
it. Man.
I love the art. I
I
think
like
this is
it.
probably the best
I think they
artwork I've
nailed
seen
it.
in this game. Yeah,
I love
personally.
it. I mean, I don't even hate the Resistance like watching the show. I've grown to like that artwork anyways, or art style, animation style, whatever you want to call it.
I think it works for the show. It's not my favorite thing, but I think
Yeah.
it fits within what the show's trying to do.
Yeah, I agree with that. But how do you guys feel about Pyre? Do you feel like he's going to be relevant within it, or he might pop up in like a few specific decks, just maybe like a Trooper Synergy aggro deck, or do you think he's just going to fall to the wayside?
It's gonna pop up in my decks.
Yeah, him and
Yeah.
DJ.
I think that
Yeah,
tells you all you need to
DJ.
know.
Pyre and DJ. all that indirect damage. It's gonna add up.
Yeah.
Removing dice.
I don't know. I
I'm
think
liking
there's
it.
just better options out there.
Oh, there probably are, but I want to play DJ. I want to use my spot gloss. And then I can be like, yo, Mr. Chip, you can play this deck. I'm going to beat his butt with it. Then he's going to play it, and then it goes from there.
That was a good story.
Didn't we? Isn't discard to reroll the better team right now? Can you say that?
Yes, that is big true. That is
I
the
don't-
biggest true I've
Big
ever
true.
heard.
You know, I'm just
I don't know,
gonna.
I feel like Chip's been like brewing this like competitive team over there that no one's known about. They're just like coming. I thought it would have been Worlds, but they're at some point they're coming to a tournament to take it over. I don't know what tournament it's going to be, but they're prepping for something.
Well, they
I mean,
took
they
over
did it.
Kappa.
They did it.
They did Kappa.
Yeah, they did a Kappa.
That was
so,
where they won. Their
Oh,
Yep.
there it is.
Yeah.
That's it. That was their call. That's what they were contracted for, and now it's over.
Let's be clear though. It's not Chip.
It's
Chip-
Josh
Chip-
Banana
Chip is-
Crapshoot.
Chip is Emperor Palpatine this whole thing.
Well, it's just funny because like the guy, like some of them showed up to the tournament, and Josh was like, "Yeah, they're on our competitive team," and Chip was just like, "Oh, nice to meet you." Like it was, the first time, like, Chip, it was definitely he would like show up and record, and Chip did all that stuff. But in terms of competitive Banana Crapshoot, put it together, and like when they took down Kappa, just Chip was just like, "Oh, that's cool. Here's a T-shirt." Like it just,
That's awesome. He's just a financier, man.
pretty much, he's the sugar daddy of discard.
He's a respected
That's-
businessman.
That's the correct role to have.
All right, and then there's the other two. There's a downgrade after you claim or take control. You can deal 1 damage to the attached character, and then there's a event where if you control the battlefield, you remove a die. If not, you take control and reroll a die with ambush.
With ambush. That's
So-
I mean that's a good card.
Yeah.
So for the downgrade, though, my question is it the same thing with the character? So if it is 2 damage, would it also be 2 damage for the downgrade?
The wording's the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that'd be 4 damage and claim the battlefield.
Yo, Flock's,
Yeah.
Flock's deck is popping off right now. DJ
Dude.
is gonna.
DJ, it's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Well, and that's direct damage too. So like
Yeah, that's direct. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's really good.
Flock's gonna slap that seizing territory all over there.
Oh, dude,
can't
I'm
imagine.
gonna seizing territory, hasty exit, and claim, and then yes, it's
Well,
that's what a 6
Your
damage
ambush would
swing.
be hasty.
You will absolutely do that once.
It's a 6 damage swing.
You'll do that one time.
Congratulations, you've done 3 damage.
No, that'd be if it's 4 damage, it'd be what? So you'd season territories to give them the battle.
No, stop. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Season terror, you take
It's-
the
it's-
battlefield.
Oh yeah, you take the battlefield.
It's
Yeah, so you
fine.
take the
It's fine.
battlefield.
Yeah,
So
it's fine.
that's what? 2 damage.
There's no way that there's
You give
no
them
way
the
that it's
battlefield,
ruled that way.
and then you claim it's 2 more damage.
There's no way that it's ruled that way.
Even if it is, I'm still not overly.
Yeah, even if
Right,
it is,
yeah.
it's like you could, but why would you, right, Jack? Huh?
You could run that deck, but why run that when you can just run this other deck that's better?
Yep.
That's my motto.
Exactly. Yep.
Man.
1000%.
But yeah, I do think taking charge will actually be pretty solid within Red Villain, especially if it's like a
Mhm.
mono deck. They kind of removal's a little suspect at times, I feel like, and this kind of adds to them because Red Villain's got like counterintelligence and probe and some good stuff in there, but they just kind of struggled with certain removal dice, and this kind of just adds into that.
I think just having the extra flexibility has always made a card good. Like
Yep.
there's a reason off the sensors stayed in chopper decks for so long. It's because it's just flexible. Like those other things, like having less chance of having a dead card in your hand makes it good, and then that ambush is just bonus.
Yeah, that was one of the things I remember seeing you got your list, and there was like 2 off the sensors, 1 instigate, and I was just remember being curious or whatever the combination. Maybe there's no instigate.
No, that was it. So the world's version had 1 instigate.
That's what.
The-
Yeah.
My regional version, we cut the instigate.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Yeah, because part of me was like, well, instigate you can activate, and if you happen to just roll crazy, you can also resolve all of it if you need to. But then I think talking with Shane, or maybe it was you that said in the Discord, is like, well, just having those 2 other options to do the other things has become very relevant. And I was like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean it's those other things. I know it won a game, Micah game at Worlds, and like they've definitely been relevant to me. So
Yeah, cool. All right, any other thoughts on these Red Villain ones from discard to reroll?
Pretty good.
meh.
I can't believe that they gave Chip 3 spoilers.
It brought him back from the ledge, man.
And
Yeah.
a dice card too.
Yeah. I'm still riding high from our last one, so I don't even care that ours sucked this year. But
I think
I
that,
had to balance out.
since you just said that makes that the second recorded time that someone's talked about Pike Sentinel.
I'll take it. All right, and the next 2 that we have are from I Rebel. We got Toradoza and her ship, the Blue Ace. So she's a character pilot. Her big thing is that her ability is after its character begins piloting a vehicle, you may resolve one of that vehicle's support or upgrade dice. And so piloting, again, the whole thing is after you activate this character, you may activate one of your vehicles. This character is piloting it. So, of course, you can activate her, activate a vehicle, and then resolve that.
Fast hands.
Sabine? Sabine,
in
is that
a
you?
way.
Is that you, Sabine?
much worse dice sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said it when I was on Iron Bell, but I just think that both of these spoilers are very underwhelming, especially paired together. I think piloting's going to be cool. I think piloting's going to be interesting. But I think that a 3 call support, those weapon sides are really rough.
Yeah. It always feels like one
Yeah.
of those 2.5 ones. Like, you talk about like the in between where 2 might be too good if it starts to get those resources stacking, but then 3.
Yeah,
it's like,
I mean,
ah,
but like
okay.
in this meta, like there's only 3 rounds, maybe 4 if you're really lucky. But like, it's not going to be like that, and it's not going to stack as easy as you think it is.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is that we're in a DM world still. So like even
True.
like if you can get this down and you can resolve it, it's great. Even if it gets removed like once, you're okay. But like it's just tough in the DM world to guarantee you're gonna get value out of it. I feel like these 2 are a lot of like maybe. Like there's something there that they could be good. You never know how action cheat always comes out of nowhere, right? Like you don't see it first and then you're like, oh, this is really good. So like anything that has an action cheat you have to kind of pay attention to. It's just it's not there yet. And maybe there's enough piloting stuff that'll make her worth it, but this is one where it's kind of you got to wait and see.
I think that if she was like 11-14, that should be. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the thing to say, really.
I mean, it's always kind of like the awkward balance of characters and piloting might change this in the next set, but it's always kind of been awkward of having like middle characters in a support deck, because half the time you could really just do something similar but go to 3 wide and get all 3 colors and more health. And so I think Tora kind of falls into that issue where 12-15 takes up a lot, potentially half of your team points. and you're trying to do these things with vehicles, but will that leave you with enough health at the end of the game? I'd be interested in trying to explore mainly her at single die would be
I think
interesting for me.
that's the thing. I think she'll be seen way more at single die than
Well, at single die, I mean, technically you have 2 die if you have a vehicle I have to pilot with. So I'm not, overly worried about 1 die. I mean, like you were saying though, Jack, this is kind of like why I don't like. I love Lando, but like I wouldn't play him. You know what I mean? Like the middle is just so rough.
Yeah, he at least gets discounted, so you can ramp easier. But
right.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on Tora, Doza, and Blue Ace?
Like the art.
Certainly, it really
I think
pops.
the art's great.
Yeah.
I think they nailed it.
Yeah, I really like the art from this set so far.
Agreed.
Convergence was a little on the rough side.
Hey, bring back Rookie Pilot. That's all I want. All right, just give me that art.
Rookie Pilot and Kira.
Yeah, I was sorting through my old my
Kira,
extras, and I came across the Rookie Pilot die, and I was just so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, how did this get printed? But all right, on to the next one from Dice Commando, and they had the Trandoshan Hunter and Warning Shot. The Trandoshan Hunter is 9/11, and he's just got a bunch of range sides. His power action is spot a downgrade to turn one of your Bounty Hunter dice to a side showing damage.
He's cool.
He excites me in a villain 5 die sense, and he's just got good sides. Like almost, I don't know, that 9/11, I don't think they really have any aggro sense of that, like villains anymore once they lost like Balatik. Off the top of my head, I can't picture anybody in terms of yellow.
Greedo's 11.
Greedo's 11, yeah, that's fair.
That's the big comp, I think.
Yeah.
Bib's 11 now. You could recycle some dice.
You could.
You
I
could,
think the
but why
biggest
would
thing
you?
with him is his health. If his health is enough, his die sides and his ability are really good for 11.
Yeah.
8's just not a lot.
No, but I mean, it's on the same par as, the game's advanced, so it's really hard to compare. But I was going to say, like, Balatik did well with Talzin and Fost back in the day, but
Yeah.
it's a different game. I mean, even Droid struggles staying alive at 8 health at this time.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, I think this is the best character we've seen so far. I think this is probably the most playable of the spoilers that we've seen. He has the potential to be really good in the right setup.
Yeah. Well, you don't think Quaxium Heist is going to break the game?
It might. It either will or it won't, and that's those are the only 2 options. Either it'll be completely broken or it won't be played.
Not
So
relevant. Yeah. And then they also revealed a event, warning shot, 1 cost, choose an opponent's die and remove it unless they give you 1 resource.
This is less good.
I see this in like Beckett decks, and then I kind of stop there. It could
This
make
is
its
like
way in
make
other
demands.
things,
villain
But
yellow
worse.
removal's really bad right now.
Yeah.
So like this might see play in decks just because there's no other options. Especially if we go back to like a 2-color world, if that ever happens. But yeah, it's okay.
but yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on Trandoshan Hunter and Warning Shot?
I'm good.
Tradition's pretty solid.
Agreed. I'm glad that these are starting to roll in, and I believe Matt said we're looking at a article soon. I don't know if that soon is this week or early next week. What's happening, but we should be getting an FFG article soon. And I know that excites everybody and maybe triggered a few people when you hear soon from FFG, but
It's on the boat.
I trust Matt.
The article is on the boat.
That got canceled. There's no more on the boat, dude. Come
Doesn't matter. That joke is never gonna die.
on. Nothing's ever really gone.
No one's ever really gone.
All right, we're going to jump into the updated Holocron, the rules reference, Balance of the Force restricted list. We'll jump into... do you guys have a preference? What do you want to talk about first? Anybody feeling away? The restricted
Just
list
go
or
balance of the force first, I guess.
All right. We'll go down through the list right here. So basically they took a bunch of Legacies block characters and dropped them down some points to try and make them competitively viable and kind of shake up the meta, simply because Covert Missions isn't here for another month and people are kind of tired of this meta. Just for better or worse, even if you like loved playing in it, eventually it gets old because it's been here since June.
I sure don't.
Well, you hate everything you lose to, so.
Ouch. But yes, true.
All right, so we'll do Balance of the Force, and we'll just go through. We could talk about just the individual characters. We'll kind of read them off. So the first one is Bib Fortuna. He is now 8'11".
Yay.
Is he breaking? Yeah, I mean,
I saw what you did with him last night with Thrawn, and I'm impressed. I mean, I think that it's got some legs, and it can do some stupid stuff.
yeah, that's like he could be. He drops down into that 11 for elite. Could be like that 5-die, but kind of 5-die starts to feel weird if you're relying on your other characters' dice, because like if you're rolling in Talzin's dice again, that's not super exciting. Thrawn, it was cool with, but he
Flock might disagree with that.
Yeah, Flock might disagree. It was like weird though. Bib hit the specials and it felt great, but it seemed like every time I rolled in Thrawn's die off of his special, it was like focus or blank or like discard when he had no cards. It was like, man.
That's the major problem is you have to get his die to a special and then get the other die to a resolvable side.
Yeah.
I think he's like one good side away from being good. If he had like a 2 resource side or a 2 focus side, I think he'd be like playable. Problem is like, yeah, you can't play him in a 5-die because then what are you re-rolling in? Other like weak dice.
Yeah.
And like red yellow, like I think Thrawn's the only pairing for him right now, and like red yellow is probably the weakest villain color pairing you can have. Blue just has so much good stuff right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's just like he's close and he'll be fine. Like he's fine. Like people can play him casually now as opposed to him being terrible. But meh.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was. I will say it was fun to play him with Thrawn. At least it was a cool idea, and I just happened to roll 3s a lot, so it was fun.
Just roll 3s.
It's the strategy. All right. So the next one we have Bo-Katan is down to 13-18. Is she here? Is she alive now?
That single die, I would run her.
Yeah, you love these single die.
I mean, I
That's
think
a
her,
massive jump. 5 points. Wow.
I think her die is good, but at 18, I would. I don't know.
Why not like Bo R2?
Yeah.
R2's the obvious one, right?
Yeah. Turn it to a 3.
And you do have like one that interests me is Ayla, and I know you can't turn Bo's dice with Ayla, but the amount of blue upgrades that are relevant and good are probably enough to where it's still relevant.
Yeah.
So I do like her. I don't know if I'd ever run Bo at like 1. I don't know. I don't really like those big characters that 1 die.
Yeah, unless there was some need for her ability, right? If there was some combo where her ability was relevant at 1 die, maybe, but I just don't ever see that being true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what yellow upgrades do you really want with her?
Pulse cannon.
Right, that's the problem is there isn't any.
I think the pulse cannon. At this point, like, I think pulse cannon has burned me more than it has helped me. I think that power action is super unreliable, and I feel like whenever I do the power action, there are 6 disrupts on that dice. Just roll better. Yep.
Just roll 2 for nothing, dude. Come on, it's easy.
Well, I mean,
Yep.
it's an upgrade where you're not trying to play roulette from it. You're just trying to get multiple result. Like you want to get it to the 2 range and then power action it. And then if you
but I always get the like the paid side, and I can't do anything with it. And I'm like, okay,
that's
cool.
your fault, dude.
That's yeah, no, that totally 100% is my fault.
Roll better, man. Roll 3s.
Yeah, roll better.
Yeah,
Roll better. Have the money for it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Flockton.
That's you have to pay for those 3s.
Yeah.
That's champion Guru Flockton. If anyone didn't know, that's our top finisher times 5, Mr. Flockton over there. Thank you for the advice, Mr. Flockton.
I got you, boss.
Thank you.
So yeah, Bo-Katan. Those are
Yeah.
Go ahead,
There's like
Rico.
there's something there. I don't know. She's okay now. Like I just feel like they went from these characters being completely unplayable to
Okay,
maybe
they're
I'll
there.
save them up at a local, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like none of these are like game breaking. You know what I mean?
At least I can play without like losing.
competitive consideration. I think for the most part they just got characters into the playable category.
Yeah. All right. On to the next one is Finn. Finn is down to 11-14.
Here's one of them.
Yeah, I think that's super fair for where he is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's opened up some interesting pairings. I mean, we'll could get into one later. Like Zeb could be one if you're just trying to like get more base sides for. Because the most frustrating part though, still even at 14, I find is his plus. What's a +2, right? Like just modified sides on characters that. Like it's my same issue with Jin. I understand, she's 16 too. She's like, so it's even more frustrating having higher points on that. But I don't know. I'll find myself, I feel like, playing with him and getting frustrated at the +2. So Zeb could be something to counter that. I've also seen, you could do some form of, what did I say? It was like Yoda with AR, which, doesn't really sound crazy interesting, but just the idea of like him with another decent character in a plot. So you could do like Ayla or something too, which is a little bit more kind of interesting idea of that. And he's got some synergies with Trooper stuff as well, which is nice.
Yeah, I would feel a lot better about the AR stuff if DM wasn't still a huge factor in this meta.
I mean, it kind of depends. Yeah, it really depends how it goes. Like, you don't want to AR like a 4 cost thing because then that just gets blown up. But if you can if you AR a crate and then play another crate and they DM one, like you're not feeling the worst in the world.
Yeah, I think we have to see how the meta shakes out, like how much villain yellow really sticks around. Like you could basically play any villain yellow deck and just put blue and Del Fist in and you'd be fine. So like we have to see how that interacts now. But he's really good value for his health and his die sides. His dies are 2/2/3/2, so like plus a resource, like that's a pretty insane die for 14.
Yeah,
I just don't
special.
like. The problem is the middle. Yeah, special's a 2, right? So like the problem is middle just as a archetype isn't strong right now. But
Yep.
I think he's solid. This is probably either number 1 or number 2 in like characters that got moved down, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Cool. All right. Next up, we got the big General Grievous is down to 13-18.
I'm excited about this one
I could care less.
because I was trying to play this General Grievous with the 1 die Talzin, but now I can play it with 2 die Talzin, and I'm very happy.
Sick.
To clarify, I care about your opinion. I could care less about the General Grievous nerf. Just wanted to make sure I didn't hurt your feelings there, bud.
We
It's
got
fine.
buffed, first of all.
You got buffed.
Yeah. So yeah, technically, that's true.
Well, technically, I guess.
The points nerf, character buff, John. You meant what I know, boys.
Yeah, meh.
Part of me always feels like he got worse because he lost Retribution. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. And with like Sentinel Messenger and Retribution is at least like interesting. I don't, there's like no 4 dice that really stick out to me. I mean, some of the 12 you mentioned, Talzin, which could be a fine option. Watto's certainly interesting too to make money to play a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
but nothing
That's
really.
probably the one
jumps
to
out.
look at first, right?
Yeah.
Dude, Watto is always the first one to look at. I'm just saying. My boy right there.
He's got 13 health. That's pretty good for his point cost. That 1x is just pretty rough. If it was like 2/2/3, maybe.
Yeah, the one side is brutal.
Remember that time that FFG printed an Anakin Skywalker at like 20 points with a 1 melee side? Good times.
Yep.
I'm still mad about it. I'm sorry.
He's not even released yet.
Doesn't matter. I'm mad about it. He sucks.
Do you see what they did to my girl? All right.
Yeah, she's looking real rough over there.
She's like, they took her from me and they gave her to Joe. What the hell?
Yeah, literally trying to force her into a 3-wide of all different colors.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
That's the only way she's good.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Grievous like power action's a pipe dream. Like,
Yep.
It's so easy to remove any one of those dice. Like you're never gonna have it out in the pool unless you pull like a tactical mastery and then like power action. But like,
so like you could just resolve your dice and then you
Exactly.
Probably anyways.
so what's the point? Like, what are you really trying to accomplish there?
Yep.
Just doesn't work in the game the way the game is built right now.
Yep.
He'll get sniped way before you
Someone
can
will play
even
him and
put
have
4
fun
down.
now, so like good for that guy.
Blocked in. Good for you.
You could drop a Mysteries of the Force down there and try to get him that way.
You could totally put this character in your palp deck.
All right. Next up, we got Jabba the Hutt at 11-14.
Tickle be Elmo.
This is Tickle Jabba, right?
Yeah,
The
this is
special
Tickle.
guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bib
And he's
14
got
is coming
really
to
good
tickle him.
die side.
Well, yeah, I actually think he's one of the better ones to come down. Like him dropping 2 points. I mean, special, resource, 2 focus. Like there's not a bad
For
side on
12
that.
health.
12 health. Yep.
I like
That's
him.
a real character.
Character leader scoundrel.
What was he before? 15 or 16?
16.
Wow. This is the one that caught me off guard. I didn't realize. This is a good character.
Yep.
I don't know if there's a deck for him, but it's a good character.
I've messed
You
around with
slap him with
Tarkin form.
Entourage.
Scoundrel leader?
Yeah, scoundrel leader.
That's good.
Yeah, I've currently have a pre-made of him and Tarkin. No idea how good it'll be, but lots of indirect.
I like the Palp idea.
Uh
I'll mess with that
with the newest bout, play a bunch of
yeah,
upgrades
yeah.
bout.
Ejaba with Palp, and then play a
Unlimited.
bunch of specials. Like, all the upgrades have specials.
Like single die Palp 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you could probably put Way of the Force on and all that jazz.
Yeah, put away the force. You got all those abilities with all the every ability is special. You get force jump. You got your bartering and stuff like that.
Is that better than Jenga?
I don't know because Django at least can finish off games.
Right.
But I just see this as being fun, and also it could also make Jabba more of a threat too if you start
Because you
popping
still
off.
get lightsaber mastery, right?
Yeah, you still
Yep.
get lightsaber mastery.
Okay, that's reasonable then.
Yeah. So it's something new to just mess with and see how it goes.
Certainly.
Yeah, that's where that 2 focus. If Bib had a 2 focus.
Yeah.
That changes the world. We're so used to it. Like I looked at Pyre and I was like, 1 focus. Ugh, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where he'll fit in, but I do like him a lot. It's a good week for
I'd be
discard.
surprised if he doesn't find a way somewhere with that die.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, just that die, the health, the character scoundrel leader, just all good.
Because even if you can if you can just reliably make that a 2 indirect, that's a pretty solid character.
Yep.
2 focus, resource, 2 indirect, 2 indirect. That's not bad.
Yeah. All right. We'll move on to the next one, and this is Callus at 12-15. I still think he's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like his sides. Like the 2 1s on there and the paid 3 or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean the thing is that like the 1s aren't really 1s with his ability unless you roll 2 1s.
You haven't seen me roll then.
Yeah, I don't know. Trooper leader's really good. This is 15. Every time I see 15, I'm just like,
Yeah.
meh. It's like the worst point cost I think you can have in the game.
That's like I'd be excited about the next one too if it was like, I don't know.
Well, the next one's funny because character pairings weren't the issue. But
Right.
Before we get any other thoughts, like generally just on Callus at all. I mean, yeah, 15's weird. There's
Who'd
not
you
really
run Callus with? Like Iden?
Mono red.
Mono feels rough.
I
Yeah.
know.
I mean, you can run Beckett maybe. That's 2 paid sides.
Could run Kylo. Ugh, no, you can't.
I mean, you can do a lot.
That's
Of
what
things.
Ugh, it feels icky.
Yeah, that's just the problem. Like he's just in a weird spot. Like he's okay. He's got 12 health. He's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
cool. Like I feel like the idea for Callus is pretty cool.
I want to run him with Zeb.
I want neutral Callus. When do we
I
get
wanna-
neutral Callus?
I want to plot with him and Zeb. Temporary truce, but Zeb.
It'd be interesting. Could do Snoke with what's his face with Callus. Could be
You
interesting.
could.
But there's like big littles with Snoke have always kind of been weird.
Yeah, I don't see that being better than 2 characters.
Yep. All right. On to the next one. We've got Kit Fisto at 12-15.
Shame. Just a real shame.
It's just like, I don't know. I mean, it opens up, like, I think, like, him and Luke now not having to run Bitter Rivalry or Solidarity could be, like, okay, but when you look at Blue Hero, like, the issue didn't feel like character pairings. Like, it always felt like there were some decent characters within the builds that they had. But when you went into, like, weapons and removal and stuff and resource gen, like, that's really where they started to struggle. And I'm not sure Kit Fisto really changes any of that by going down a point.
Well, I mean, it's still you have nothing to run with him, and the fact that like the middle thing. Like I don't want to put upgrades are still so bad. Like I don't want to lose what I've put into the deck. You know what I mean? Like you lose a character, it's kind of over for you.
I mean, the big thing for me, yeah, it's like it's tough on that, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just like there's nothing that really stands out where I actually feel like even if there was a decent upgrade in round 1, I saw a 2 cost that I could play that was really good. Like he still has a pay side, and Blue Hero doesn't have any like resource generation at all. You know, like they used to have it binds all things, but of course with DM floating around, that has just not been an option at all because you can't play that. You dig yourself in a bigger hole for that. So I don't know. Like Blue Hero, like I'm more excited about the Qui-Gon change than I am with Kit. Like just going down to 15, I feel like doesn't open too many options. Could do him with Yoden lightsaber mastery though. Make money that way.
Yeah, but like you're still removing Kit's die to block, and so you're left with nothing. Not nothing, but you're left with significantly less than. The deck doesn't do enough. I feel like I don't know.
It's just like you're paying a lot for his die, and his die is expected to do damage, but then he also has a 2 focus side, which is good. But then you're using his die to focus what other dice?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was relevant. I mean, he was good with Ayla back last prime season, last regional season when Vader like first came on the scene. But back then they had Force Illusion, Ancients, Shotos, all those things. So his 2 focus could go to relevant things. But like you said, there's nothing to go now. I don't really want to double focus and go to the Jedi lightsaber +2 and then the base side get removed and I cry. All right.
It's a shame.
Hopefully,
I hope this next set. I hope Covert Missions has a little more oomph for like Blue Hero. Not too much oomph. Just a little make it playable again. I feel like.
I mean, it's always going to be in a weird spot too, like with Blue Hero, just because like Kylo or Reylo exists. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like their whole thing is kind of getting shields, and then that just counters.
There's just so much catching up to do, honestly.
I mean, they can outlast it. I mean, like when we played a few games like OBR2, and that like could hang with Reylo. Like it's there, but it's
sure. But it's like that's not gonna. I don't know. I'd say it's like 1.5 probably.
Sure. I mean, so is Reylo.
But it's like
at this point.
But it's like so. But that's like the only thing that comes to my mind as far as Blue Hero being anywhere, like something you would bring to an event.
Yeah, I don't think Blue Heroes had any top cut. Well, OBR2 won a prime, but I think that was a smaller one. And I think that was Canada or UK.
They don't count
exactly. But yeah, I was just thinking like primes in the States. I don't really know how many Blue Hero actually made top 8.
We're talking about freedom units over here.
Freedom units. All right. On the next one, we got Maul at 10-14.
I'm like cautiously optimistic about this one because at 14, Maul's die are significantly better than what they were at 16. In my opinion.
I mean, then, yeah. I mean, I'm not overly still excited about him. Still, that paid side sucks. And just like the sequencing of his abilities, just awful.
Do you know how many people have told me, like, dude, Savage is coming back. It's happening, dude. I'm like, I don't know about that. Was he ever here?
Yeah, that's
this is the real pairing with DJ, right? Like this is the actual DJ deck.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
What do you mean actually?
Yeah.
Like it's one you can play and not get laughed at.
It's Flocked, and he's gonna get laughed at no matter what.
Yeah, I get laughed at no matter what.
All right. I was trying for you.
He's trying to throw you a bone here, Flock. Come on, just take it. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. But that's like
it's again, he like went from being unplayable to like playable, but like not competitive, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
That 3-for-1 is hard, and like his other sides aren't good.
Yep.
His ability isn't even really that good. I mean, I don't know.
I think his ability's pretty good. I mean, if you load up Maul and then they want to remove it, then you remove one of theirs. You gotta make sure you play it right. You're not rolling out first.
Just like good players can play around that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if the other player rolls out and then all of a sudden the Maul player rolls out and they roll fire, it's like you got to remove some of it.
Got it. So a bad player that rolled out.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think you can play around it pretty easily. So like, that's the major problem. You don't ever want to give your opponent agency in your abilities.
Yep.
Big true.
I've got a spot gloss on him. I wish he was relevant, but I'm not gonna play DJ. So.
We got a good maul, so like,
But this is the one that came on the Worlds mat though, so I've got a little bias toward them.
Oh, that's fair.
I want him to be good.
Hey man, I played Bitter Rivalry at my first tournament after Worlds. I did it.
Oh, you did that with what? Plowalks?
Plowalks, yeah.
That's.
I
I'm
love
not gonna lie,
lightsaber.
that wasn't a major decision in what deck I was playing.
That's awesome.
I love Maul's Rebel lightsaber. It's such a cool design.
Yeah, can get behind that. All right. We did Maul, and now we got the new one. We got Palpatine down to 14-18.
So I had a little story for this guy. So I don't know, a long time ago, I think it was last regional season, maybe it was Store Champ season. Mike put out like a bounty that if you win, it had to be Store Champs. A Store Champ with Palp or Royal Guard he had like special shield tokens made.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I spent like 3 weeks playing a deck with this guy, and then I never played him again. I really wanted him to work. It's a cool ability, and like his die is insane. I think 12 health for him. It's just like it's really hard. What was he, 20 before?
Yeah. 16-20. Back when we did draft for Legacies, when Legacies came out like 7 years ago. Shane was there, believe it or not, at the event. And Shane picked up I think it was E-Palp actually. It was like E-Palp and a battle droid. And I was doing nothing clearly with my deck. I didn't get much. But he managed to like do all these crazy shenanigans with his power action, and like he law and ordered me and removed the only upgrade I had because it was draft. Like I think he has some serious potential if you figure out the right combo, figure out the right, like plot, like strategy, not plot, strategy and tactic. I think he's really interesting at this cost.
Yeah, but then I beat Shane, so I didn't.
Yeah, no, everything that if you beat me, I don't know how great you're gonna feel about it because.
I feel great when I beat you.
It's like the Eagles. Shut up, Flock. It's like the Eagles won last, this week, but they went in overtime to a team that's 2-10. So, like, how good do we really feel about it?
Yeah, we lost those garbage Dolphins.
Sure
Watch
did.
your mouth. Also, can you just beat my team, please? We need the pick. Like, what the hell, guys?
We're trying. Some weeks we think we want the pick, so we lose to you guys. And then the other weeks we're like, actually, maybe we want to win, and then we beat the Giants.
We're
We
figuring
can't
it
even
out
be
like
good at
mid-season.
being bad.
No,
Come on.
I don't know. I would still actually like to win the division because I hate hearing everything from NFC East people.
You mean NFC least?
I mean, if you guys let the Cowboys win, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. I mainly don't feel like hearing it from inception for the next year. It's kind of my
Big true.
big motive right now. And now he's like, oh, no, I want the pick. I was like, yeah, sure you do.
Good bop.
Palpatine, on hat note, the only thing that interests me is seeing if I can push like a dumb red deck with him where I can play Order 66 multiple times. But that doesn't even seem super great.
That's a pipe dream.
I feel like his deck is going to be more based around the cards in the deck as opposed to him. Like there has to be good, expensive cards that are worth playing, or you're just going to run the other Palpatine, right?
Yep.
I think so.
It is
I don't
funny
think
that
we're in
they're both
that
18.
that era where there's like big events that are really impactful that he's around, but I think he's definitely playable now. He's interesting.
Well, that was why Order 66 probably feels like one of the more powerful ones, but like a little bit trickier to play. And so that's what I was thinking is that even with him, you could, most people aren't going to roll out both characters into the pool when they know that you're running that plot. Whereas Palpatine, you could play one and then you could power action the other one for free and stuff. And you have 6 cards if you run a red character with him.
It has to be in the right meta too, right? Like the world's meta would not have been, even if that was a thing and was good, like the world's meta wouldn't have been the right one because Order 66 would have been bad into that. So.
Yep. All right. Cool. Next one we got is Qui-Gon Jinn, and he is down to 13-17.
No more solidarity.
Yeah, no more solidarity or bitter rivalry, which I think is good. but I still think he has some of the similar struggles that we talked about with Qui-Gon. Or sorry, with Kit Fisto, I mean.
I can
Yeah,
enjoy
mono-
using a spot class with him. Spot class.
I can use my
The
spot.
mono blue just feels not great.
Yeah. Yeah, with him, I mean, Yoda almost seems like some of the best because he like can help maintain that shield craziness that Qui-Gon needs. But I don't know.
I don't know. Mike's got a prime coming up soon. Maybe we'll see something.
Is he gonna
If
bring
there's
it?
any hope, that's the hope, I think.
Well, he brought Solidarity, right, to one like
Yep.
a month ago or a few weeks or whatever.
Yeah, I'm contractually obligated to not talk about that, Prime.
That's okay. We'll move past it for his sake. Yeah, I mean Qui-Gon Jinn has always been like an interesting one, but he's just been so weird to play, and he almost feels worse in Aurela than other blue hero because he wants shields to do things.
Yeah, he's just really hard to play effectively because you have to really sequence your resolutions of your dice. Well, it's like I feel like it's even harder than Raylo is
Yeah.
to keep your shields in order to get things done. It makes it really awkward. But his ability is really good if you get it off.
Yep.
Mill definitely does not want to see him.
Yeah, and I mean people have been talking about Mill coming back potentially still, even with the restricted list of Ring and no answer. So it could be decent if everybody
think
decides to bring Mill.
Mill is still bananas.
Yeah, I mean they can still mill in 3 rounds is the thing, even with that restricted. But yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out. This weekend won't be telling because it's still on the old rules reference, but I'm excited to see how some of the regionals play out with this in store.
I'm excited to
Yeah,
get
for sure.
stopped again. I'm no question about it. I'm ready to get hurt again.
This Saturday, baby.
Can't wait.
You guys have one this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, but
Virginia.
it's on the old
We-
letter, right?
Yeah.
We don't, but we're heading somewhere that does.
That's a big rip.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
We're
had
like-
all of ours in October and November.
Yeah, New Jersey
The
and
first
like,
couple weeks.
Pennsylvania were like, oh, World's in October. Let's schedule everything in October. Like literally every week in October there was a Prime, and then there was Worlds, and then there was Prime right after Worlds.
Oof.
Yep.
So that was tough. And then
Yeah, we had one the weekend after, and that was definitely tough. But ours are definitely spaced out a lot nicer.
yeah. Funny enough
We got
though,
our
the
next
one
one on the 28th.
at 28th, you think that'll go well with the holidays?
I don't know. We had 20 plus on Thanksgiving weekend, so
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize that they didn't take a break though. Doesn't normally FFG say like
I think so. But I guess stores wanted to sign up for them, so I guess they did it. I don't know how that all went, but
yeah, I mean I guess if on FFG's side they're like, all right, if a store they already bought the kit, if they think they can run it, like do we really care that much? I don't know. Especially with
Probably
how
not.
many there are. How many kits are out, but
yeah, for sure.
all right, and next one, here's a of course, a perfect partner that he got nerfed as well for Qui-Gon Jinn. They're just setting it up. Rex is to 10-13. There you go. There's your Qui-Gon partner.
I will say, I almost lost to a Rex deck in Artificery League the other day.
What was
It was real close.
Was it like a
It was
clone?
Rex. Yeah, it was Rex Trooper Cody, and it was 3PO versus Cody in a very tense one-on-one battle.
Well,
I got pretty lucky to win that one.
just like the movies
yeah.
predicted.
Yeah, just like it happened.
Rex has always been like an enigma for me. He feels good, but like a lot of the stuff that he synergizes with is just bad.
Like, you get to use that sweet promo with him.
I do like that San Diego Comic-Con one,
I do too.
but I don't know. Clone Troopers for like 8 is just, and he's already at 13.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just has never felt great.
I feel like it's a lot of these characters where it's just like, all right,
I almost wish that like either him, well, I guess both him and Cody, and I don't know how far this will push it. That's why I'm not a game designer or anything. But if they were along the lines of like Grievous, where it was more general, where like Rex was like spot another trooper to take control of the battlefield, or if like Cody was decrease the cost of a trooper by 1. But I understand that could create problems because then like Hoth troopers are 4, and that might not be the best thing that we want. But I don't know, just something to push them more. Like they're so narrowed in. Whereas you look at like Grievous and he's like all droids are decreased by 1. gives him more room and flexibility to try stuff where like Rex, Cody, and the clones are just pigeonholed into this certain build, which isn't even very good. Rex cast was fun though for a few days. Enjoyed it.
Hey man, it won a GQ. Rex won a GQ once.
Wasn't it that like guy's first time playing the game too?
It was well, yes.
Very
I
early.
I'm really mad at myself that I didn't follow up and like see if he went to Worlds.
Yeah.
Because he didn't. Yeah, because we don't know. But it would have been really cool if we went. I tried really hard to convince him to go, but
Yeah. And what was it? Was just Rex clone, wasn't it?
yeah, Rex clone.
That's amazing. I love that. I
Yeah,
love
man.
GQs. So much fun.
Yeah. R.I.P.
And then last one we've got on our list here, which I know Brian's excited about. Zeb is down to 11-14.
Oh yeah! Woo, baby! That's all I really wanted.
That's all you want.
All
That's
right.
your only
All right,
comment.
I guess we're done.
Yeah, I don't. You're not gonna play him, even though we went down.
Hey, you shut the hell up, first of all.
Dang, dude.
All right, so listen, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be 100% real with you. Last episode, I literally said, I want Zeb to be decreased by anything. I don't care what it is. Listen, am I gonna take him to a prime? No. Am I gonna take him to a the next World Championship or Nova? No, because I'm not gonna get an invite to World. And Nova, I don't know. We'll
It's
play
also
something
probably
else.
rotated by then.
One can hope, but I wouldn't.
You
place
never
my,
know.
Yeah.
I expect to be playing this block, this six
Covert
block
missions.
until the game dies. Anywho, is he good at 14? Realistically speaking, I think Zeb has some more problems than his point cost. But I still love him.
I mean, in isolation, is he good for 14? Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
I think he's solid.
What's your partners though? I mean, I'm looking at Jin. Jin is the most but even then, like, what cards are you doing? Like, what? How do you even abuse Zeb? You don't. He's fair.
That's the problem. Is like I feel like you can't play a deck without blue right now.
Yep.
So like his natural partners are more red, I think, and yellow red just feels bad in both factions. So like Zeb Finn is a thing with a plot. Like those are two good characters, and Zeb fixes a lot of Finn's problems. I just don't know that the other cards support it. I do have to say, going back, I have to shout out my boy. Immediately as this dropped, like literally 30 seconds later, he sent me Yoda Finn long-term plan.
That's amazing.
That's the answer.
Last time I played
I don't know how
long-term
you're
plan was Finn.
supposed to.
It was with
Huh?
Finn. I said last time I played long-term plan was with Finn. Finn Maz.
There you go.
Store
There you
champs. Those were the days. Yeah, Zeb, like you said, in a vacuum, like he feels good, but then you go to put it on paper and you're like, nothing really feels great.
Yeah, because like I said, like, this is all I've wanted. Last week I was so adamant about this, and then I was like, you know what? Now the rules reference drop, let me see what I can do with them. And I've sat and I can't tell you how many decks I've made, and each one of them I've looked at it and I went, I'm gonna delete this because it's just not even worth taking up a slot on my database. But I'm excited about it still, you know.
I think
okay.
I think he's one of the three winners coming out of it. I think it's Finn, I think it's Jabba, and I think it's Zeb, and I think those are the only three that have like actual possibility of being played. At like any kind of competitive level.
Yeah.
So just have to see where it goes.
I'll make the Zeb deck. One of these days I'm gonna crack the code. I promise. That is my adamant. I don't know. I'm ready for it though.
I will say, long-lasting, it seems like we're getting a lot more of the Spectre team, and with him going down to 4 team, could open up some options and could be fun. Maybe there's some decent synergy, although that could probably push Sabine out if you're playing another yellow character.
That's okay with me because she sucks.
I don't know if she sucks.
Sorry, Reflex. No, she doesn't suck. She's just not great.
It'll
Actually,
I'll
all things
remember that.
considered,
Going on the list.
Reflex will remember that. No, all things considered, I would say maybe Zeb at this point cost is the equivalent of. I think they're interchangeable.
It'd be pretty cool to see if like this fits now into some kind of Spectre deck for the like if they reduce these points to fit into some deck that's coming out with the new set. Like
Yeah,
could
that's what
see
I
that.
mean. Yeah, like we assume
Mhm.
Hera's coming, right? Because Ghost was
hmm
on there, and that there's some synergy that he can fit into, and you still have the other two Ezras as well.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting.
Do you though? Are they even worth mentioning?
I like the blue
Blue
one.
Ezra is.
Yeah,
Blue Ezra's good, but yellow Ezra is that of whom we shall not speak.
didn't we spoiled him? Didn't we?
You sure did.
I played him in draft once.
How'd that
I
go?
once looked at his card.
All right, that's all of our
We did it.
balance of the force. Any other comments on just balance of the force before we go to restricted?
It's cool to see them do this while it's in standard.
Yeah.
I'm happy that they're going through this and trying to make some characters playable that haven't seen it and have us pull stuff out of the binder. So I think it's a positive direction. I don't think they got anything wrong. So I think everything's trending correctly. So I like it.
I think Zeb's gonna be a powerhouse. I think they don't know what the mistake they made yet.
You'll show them, Brian.
Hey man,
I-
we missed them before, so you never know.
I think that it's really cool that they're doing this, and I could be negative and say like, we should have done this a month ago, but like, it's fine. This is fun. This is refreshing, and this may be enough to hold us over for the next 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 weeks, depending on when it's ever coming.
I think if they made a habit of doing this after Worlds every year, like with whatever the current block is, I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I was
think
just about
it's
to
the right
say,
thing for it.
if it becomes a tradition, I think that would be really cool. You know, end of
Yep.
the year, do some point reductions to keep things fresh.
I think that if next set gets delayed like this set, they should do this more frequently. Like not just after Worlds. I'm saying like maybe like if you know that the set's gonna be delayed 7 months, like maybe do this halfway through that 7-month delay.
Sure.
Not the worst idea. Not the
Because
best
it does
idea.
keep things refreshing and like this opens up options for whatever locals have survived the Order 66.
Jack's basement.
Jack's
We've-
dining room.
We've
at this
rised
point.
from the ashes.
We've
We will train a new
risen
order.
from the rise of Brumel.
Yeah, sounds great. All right, so we'll move on to the restricted list. So I'm going to just read the ones that got added, and then I'm going to go back and read the ones that were already on there, just so everybody has an idea. Because this is one giant restricted list, all these cards cannot be played in any form together. So what got added was Delve, Fateful Companions, No Answer, Resistance Ring, Theed, and Vader's Fist. And those will join the list of Arena of Death, C-3PO, Droid's Day Out, Ewok Warrior, Military Camp, Order 66, and Rebel Trader.
Hilarious.
Uh,
So funny.
It's funny that this is the fourth thing added because of droids. I think that's
I
like of
just-
all is the funniest to me.
I just want to see the droids go away. Like every like little hit they're taking makes me happy as someone who loathes droids. But the fact that they've effectively banned Faithful Companions just makes me laugh. Like a plot that was specifically made for 3PO can no longer be used with 3PO. And it's
Hey,
like
man,
one thing if they put
infinite
R2 on there.
3PO support.
Well, that's what I'm
They can
saying.
do
Yeah,
it.
it'd be one thing if they put R2 on there instead of 3PO, but and drop the R2 support instead of the R2 character. That's one thing. But like, the plot is literally now just gonna sit in the binder. You can't use it ever. So
That's fine. I mean, like droids are still good though. Like I think Five
And-
Dies was a relevant conversation going into Worlds.
do you know what I have to say to that? Good.
Good. I mean, I think it's good. I like droids. I don't have a problem with them. I overall I don't really hate anything within this meta. I'm just kind of tired of playing on it.
I'd like to not see droids so often.
Yeah, that's fair. They're like by far and away like the most represented deck in Top Cut at Primes, I think is what I was reading the other day. Your Destiny, one of their guys did like a analysis of Top Cuts and expected performance and things like that. And I don't know how
Yeah, I
accurate
don't
all
think
that
that
was,
it's
but
overrepresented. I think that it overperforms its representation, and it's also the winningest deck. So like, it seems like it's more
Gotcha.
represented. It's just that when it gets there, they overperform more
Gotcha.
than anybody else.
yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean, yeah, they've won the most primes. Like, I think it's the best deck in the meta.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
and
was.
yeah, it was. So hey, still a chance for this weekend.
I got mine last I got my last hurrah. I was pretty confident that was happening. So, well, I guess I don't have any more chances to play droid. So I got my prime win last couple weeks ago.
I mean, you still can. Like, I still think looking into that 5-die variant with the 3PO getting the 5th die would still be a decent call.
We tested it. We actually started on 5-die before going, and then we just realized that Fateful won the mirror. So
yeah, that's fair. Now you don't have to
mirror
worry
was
about the
one
mirror.
of our goal, one of our targets. So
yeah, especially going into Worlds, like that was such a popular deck.
Mhm.
The other thing added to this is no answer in Resistance Ring, which I think is a relevant thing to talk about. I mean, that kind of goes hand in hand with Fateful, simply because I feel like the Fateful droid decks was what really kept Mill from becoming too big. And with Fateful getting hit, I think Mill needed to get hit, and that's what they did with Resistance Ring and no answer. Although it's a little interesting in that Villain doesn't care about this because Resistance Ring was hero. And I believe it was a Texas Prime that Elite Mahdi, Jabba, Sentinel Messenger, Mill won. I think it was Texas. Or no, they came second. I think they ended up playing
Second place,
Yoda.
yeah.
They played Yoda Leia in the final.
It was the Mill final.
Well, that
Yeah.
sounds disgusting.
But
That sounds
watched-
like the least fun game I've ever seen.
I turned it on. I watched it for like 10 minutes,
Man.
and I was like, it's off.
have you guys played a high level mill mirror?
I've never played a high level anything, so
I've never played
They're,
Mirror.
they're like actually very interesting, like engaging games. I think people hate on it, but like, and it's definitely not fun to watch as like a spectator. But playing high level mill mirrors is actually really fun. And I'll take that back. Playing not Yoda Leia high level mill mirrors is fun. Yoda Leia mirrors are just like a crapshoot.
I was gonna say, you
Like,
think
the
back to
Millionaires
Millionaires,
mirrors were
yeah.
like really, really fun games.
Yeah. Well, it was a little boring for me too because I was expecting Yoda Leia to just win anyways because they mill faster. So like, it wasn't even exciting too much
Mhm.
watching that. Although I will say that the Mahdi player I think won game 1. I don't think the Yoda player knew it was like what was happening, and that he could like do whatever. What is their title? That you can gram off, right? So he was doing that
Oh,
and
yeah,
triggering
yeah.
the mill more, and I don't think the Yoda Leia player really realized that in game 1. And then once he lost to it, he was like, "Oh, I need to play around that."
Yeah.
And he adjusted and ended up winning. But yeah, so my point there is that Vil Mill's still good and relatively untouched.
Yep.
And I do think Hero now just has that interesting question: Do I run Ring or do I run No Answer? And probably will just depend on whatever deck you're running. But I think that's a good thing to have. And I still think, again, I mean, one mentioned this earlier, I still think Hero Mill can just mill by round 3 anyways, so I still think it's in a fine spot.
I agree with everything you said. I think Bill had to get hit. I think this was the like lowest hanging fruit of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the correct answer is and which one you run. I haven't played Mill in a while. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's still good.
And then on to the most coveted, at least by Alan. We've got Delve and Fist on here. And then we also have Thief. Thief's kind of overarching and hits a lot of stuff simply because I don't remember the last time I thought about a battlefield. I was like,
I mean,
all right,
it's
what
just a Theed nerf, right?
yeah,
It's just saying
yeah,
if you bring this other powerful card, you can't bring Theed.
Yeah.
You gotta actually think about your battlefield. So it's just a straight Theed nerf. It's not actually restricting against everything. It's just like they already errated it. This is another way to nerf it.
Yeah, and like you said, I don't remember the last time I thought about a battlefield.
What about Bendu? Bendu.
Yeah,
Since
I
the
mean,
low-
Bendu's. It was Bendu's for Raylo, and then Occupied City for Mill, and then Theed.
I played Mos Espa Arena last night.
How'd that go?
Yeah, you did.
You've seen the games.
I saw
You've
Sebulba
seen the
roll
games.
dice.
Yeah, Sebulba just spat in my face. It was like, I've got one special, and nope.
It's because you didn't use the map, man. You didn't use the map.
I actually looked back last night when I was building the deck. I was like, oh man, I should bring the mat, and then I was like, nah. I figured that you guys have the mats that were sitting there anyway, like the poker table. We haven't been
yeah.
using mats, so
Yeah.
I didn't bother.
But yeah, thoughts on Del Fist? Do you think villain supports are still here? Fist still here?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes to all of the above.
But Fist is just harder to get out now and resolve 3 times every.
I wish they would
place
just
around.
hit Fist.
Yeah, I mean, good riddance to the
Yeah.
combo, but Fist is still the big issue here.
Thing is, like, there's more counterplay now because you got to get to 5, so like you can actually stop the opponent. But they're doing the same thing they did with Snoke, where they're hitting everything around it and never hitting the actual problem card. So it's fine. It definitely hits it, and it takes a villain supports takes a little bit of a hit, but they're not going anywhere. And Fist is still one of the best cards in the game. You just got to pay 5 for it now.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think No Good to Me Dead can replace Delve, but you still now. I mean, the Theed I think is relevant too, because normally you could No Good to Be Dead and then Theed get to 5, but now you do have to find that extra resource through Truce, Well Connected, or actually rolling and resolving a resource side. So
Yeah, I think like round 1 Fists are just not happening anymore. Now it's like a round 2 play, which is where it should have been.
Yep.
There's nothing more oppressive than a round 1 true stealth Fist.
Man, at least you got a
God.
resource out of it. Every time I play people, it was like, all right, I'll Theed and then I'll Delve.
Yeah, but then the resource did nothing as he smacked me into oblivion and killed me turn 1, and I was like, cool. This is a great game. I love Star Wars Destiny. It's the best. Thank you.
So do you guys feel overall that the meta is unchanged in a general, like, I guess, deck conception sense? Like, villain supports are still around, droids are still around, Mill's still good, and that these new Balance of the Force characters aren't going to take the world by storm?
No, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't remove any archetype. They just brought the power level of all the really good stuff down. And then, like, we'll see if other stuff can rise to meet it. But, droids aren't going anywhere. Mill's not going anywhere. Villain supports isn't going anywhere. They're just not as good as or consistent as they used to be.
I don't know if they did enough, personally.
I
I still think they need to hit Fist.
mean, yeah, I would agree that they should have hit that a while ago. Like, it's just been, I mean, like you talked about, they're hitting everything around it, which it's just, I don't know. They did
And
that with
literally,
Snoke.
Fist is not going to rotate out for another at least 7 months.
Yeah,
I mean, I think with this whole thing, it still makes it very tough to even resolve Fist 3 times turn 1 like you used to.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's a turn 1 play anymore.
Because, yeah, it's basically you got to pay 5 to play it. Then you only have 2 sides that you can actually use without getting a resource.
in terms of damage, yeah.
For doing damage, exactly.
Sure.
So then your turn 1 taking shields and maybe disrupting if they have any money, but they usually don't. So, I mean, I don't know. I see this as making it very... It brings it down a lot, in my opinion. The Fist. Because with Delve, what? You're saving yourself 2 money. Plus you had feed, so you pretty much had $3 extra to resolve it 3 times in a round when you first play it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is like Reflex mentioned, is that it gives counterplay in that your disrupts matter more, because before, like you said, it was like it's so easy for people to just get to 3 and Delve, and your minimal, like, your interaction was very minimal for that. But now getting to 5, there's more counterplay around that. You can see it coming. I mean, you saw it coming before, but it's a little harder to actually. All right, let me get disrupt in. And so now you have that option, and like you said, it's more of a round 2 play, so you can prep for it.
I mean, I feel like it was Vader's Fist before Delve Fist was a big thing. It was with Snoke, when you can Snoke for money. You can't Snoke for money anymore, so I don't see getting as much money as you used to be able to get, especially with Snoke not being able to Snoke for money.
Have you seen Watto or Jabba?
And No Good to Me Dead is still a very relevant card.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see. We need to see some, some bunch of gameplays and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't see it as strong as it is now, and I see a lot of other decks coming up.
I feel
at
like
least
since
being played more.
The deck, or since the card came out, there's literally just been decks that are just revolve around getting it out. Like back then, we had Friends in High Places with Vader to try and get it out.
It's just getting harder and harder, though. That's the thing.
Do you think that Entourage is going to come back?
It's hard with DM.
God, I hope so, because I have 4 of them still, and I'm trying to trade.
I think
anything.
Entourage is a legit strategy. Especially, I don't think it's nearly as powerful as Fist, but I do think that it is a really, really solid card that should probably see play in the wake of this errata.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is, like, Entourage is usually used to ramp more stuff, and then if it get DM'd, it puts you back a lot. So, like, the rise of DM is really what hurt Entourage.
Yep.
But also the rise of Delve into the Fist package also hurt Entourage. So I think Delve going away Entourage coming back as a ramp card is also possible. So maybe we could see it. It just depends on like the makeup of where the villain support decks fall.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Just because Entourage was used to ramp and DM existing, it made it harder for it to exist currently. But certainly viable.
I also feel like they should have put Messenger on the balance of the force.
Ugh. Yep.
I think that he's way too good for where he is right now. And his abilities whack. Like, I don't know. With Grievous, he's still 7. Like, he needed to be hit, I think, and I think that's a missed opportunity.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some things that Jeremy's just holding in his pocket to see how, like, since there are no big events on this, it's okay to test and maybe not go all the way. And then say January comes, Covert Mission drops, and all the primes were still won by Fist and Sentinel Messenger, then maybe he
but like
takes a look at that.
you literally nuked the droid plot, and I don't know. I think that
Yeah, but we talked about droids still being good. Like, they're not gone.
no, I know, but I just think there needs to be. I still agree with not agree with them. I agree with myself. I still stand by what I said. I don't think this is enough, personally.
I think it's enough for what they're trying to do. With no major event coming up, I'm fine with them not trying to push the envelope too far.
Well, that's a whole nother can of worms. There's no major event coming up, but yeah.
Yeah, see, I would have
Okay.
rather them blown it up. I'd rather them see go too far now that there isn't anything to like be that worried about. But I understand that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think they hit all the obvious things and they did what needed to be done, and then they threw in us the buffs from the balance of the force. So
I think
it's solid.
In the article too, he mentioned he's just like nervous about errata. Is it like
Oh,
that's his
for
last
sure.
resort, which I get because I don't think have they ever reversed errata?
I mean, that's an FFG policy though. Like they're very errata is always a last resort. So
Yeah. All right, so there's all of our changes. The meta.
I rate it a solid 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I would say 6.
Yeah, I'll go around there. 6, 7 works for me.
You don't
Think
want
it's
to hear my
good.
number.
Flocked in, you 10.
Close to it.
Look at that.
No, Talzin wasn't dropped, so he's
No, but
Yeah.
other characters were dropped to fit with Talzin, so I'm even happier.
There you go.
So,
Yeah. So
will-
it was cool to see this. We got one prime before this drops, and then I'll be excited to see what comes between now and Covert Missions of how this ends up shaking out.
Well, tune in the
See you on
weekend
the
of
28th,
December
yeah.
the 28th. We'll have a stream on the Hyperloops from Orlando, Florida. We'll see what the new beta brings.
Cool. Sounds good. I don't know. This has been like a hop on, and I actually didn't even mention this before we recorded, but I don't know. Does anybody have any thoughts on the whole GQ situation?
you don't want to know my thoughts on the GQ situation.
I'll give you my quick measured take. I think none of us have actually the information we need to form an actual opinion, and there needs to be someone that we are to be mad at. We just don't know who that is, and we can't know who that is. So everyone's just being mad at everyone. And I think
Yeah.
that's going to like alienate and create fires where it doesn't need to. So I think we should not make assumptions without knowing all the facts.
I agree with that. I think that's extremely fair. But yes, I am mad. I am.
You
Yeah.
absolutely have the right to be mad.
Yeah.
Like there's a problem.
I think
just-
that we're past the whole point where it's like everyone should hold hands in kumbaya and everything's gonna be fine. Like,
Oh, for
no,
sure.
they've made enough screw ups to the point where we should be pissed, and I think that it's rightful that we should be pissed. But it's important how we express how we're pissed. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be constructive and not destructive.
And not directed at Matt.
Oh, Matt's a saint. No, we must protect Matt
Yeah.
at all costs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my overall frustration currently is directed at FFG just because I wish there was some form of communication about anything. Even if
And
it
that's
is
where
on
it
the
should
edit,
be,
yeah.
because that should be the default, right?
Yeah. That's where. And again, that's not at Matt. He's paid to relay information that's given to him, but the
To
people
put out
aren't giving
fires.
him. Yeah. I mean, even going back, it's like, look, he's tried everything. Like, he gave us some spoilers. He showed us the monochromes early when whatever was happening back then that people were upset about. I forget. But I don't know. It's definitely frustrating now. And I don't know. I wouldn't mind some pressure being put on Alex, but I don't know if I want to go that far and say we definitely should, just to see him a little bit more like, he's sharing about the X-Wing the next month of, hey, we're doing this and we're doing this. And whether or not that's good, I know you guys have kind of said that the AMA coming up for X-Wing might be pretty rough because some of the decisions they're making, I think. But at least it's something, and he's interacting in that form where I don't remember the last time he's posted or said anything about Destiny. And I don't know. Just a little frustrated from that point of view.
For sure. I mean, PAX was one of my favorite events, and I was super sad to not go this year. That's where I qualified for X-Wing last year. Like, that venue and like the market across the street was an awesome time. I had a blast at Adepticon last year, and like tickets went on sale, and I didn't buy anything. So it's like,
yeah,
it sucks. I wish there was stuff to go to, but
yeah, I mean, Brian and I mean, it didn't matter for Worlds this year, but we got him at Origins, and that's not going to be a thing either.
Yeah,
assuming that was GQs, and it doesn't even look like they're going to be at MomoCon in any form, is what I was reading today. So, I mean, I will say that, like, from what I understand, I heard on Discard to Reroll that, well, first off, a lot of it, how it was handled by Yeti was a little rough. Like, they didn't even have anybody.
Wait. You listen to Discard to Reroll?
No, somebody told me about it.
Oh, okay, cool, yeah.
But, like, Yeti didn't even have, like, a staff member to run the pod, so I think somebody from the community just kind of stepped up and did it, which is awesome. But a little frustrating that nobody's there for that. But I was going to say, like, FFG, the prize support, like, if you actually did go to PAX and did do pods, I will say that you probably walked away a little happy because, like, the amount of – it was, like, $10 for pods instead of $5, but then all the ticket costs were, like, half. So you did walk away with a lot of stuff, and, like, you were able to get stuff quicker, although the price probably came out the same. So it was probably good if you went, but, I mean, we're, like – GQs, I don't know. I just need something. They just need something.
Yeah, we need something for sure.
But, all right. Any other topics for you guys? Any other things you want to mention before we wrap up here?
We have podcast questions?
Oh, yeah, we do. Are there real ones? I don't know. We never know with us.
Probably not, but, it never hurts to look. I think Nathan threw in a couple of good ones.
Inception
Sort of.
wants to know, Dalvin Cook or be your firstborn child? Or your firstborn child? I think that might be directed at you.
Oh, man. That's so tough. Listen, I have a semifinal matchup with Joe going on this week, and then I have a possible matchup with Mike in the finals. So actually, update Loops Fantasy Football League. We have Orlando versus Boston in both semifinals.
That's hilarious.
Me versus Joe, and then my boy Fam versus Mike in the other semifinal. So got some regional rivalries, but we'll see. Dalvin wasn't enough to pull me through in my other league last week, so we got to see how he performs. But he's definitely close. The list is close.
No decision made.
I'll go with my firstborn for now.
For now.
Dalvin wins me a championship. We'll reconsider.
Yeah.
Speaking of, it's his birthday today, so happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday, little guy.
Not that he listens.
Happy birthday.
Wait, Dalvin
Happy
Cook
birthday.
or the firstborn?
My
Happy
firstborn.
birthday.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Next question. Nathan says, why do the new spoilers from today for I Rebel look like fan-made custom cards? I like them, so.
I like them a
Oh,
lot.
they actually look good.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at Ezra Bridger.
Yes.
Like,
It's just a different art style, and like they have to mimic the source, right? Like,
Yep.
So I think they nailed it personally, and I thought they looked really good.
agreed.
I think it's
Nathan's
cool
just
that they
hating.
like bring together all these different sources of the material and like put them in one card game. So I don't want everything to be the same in Destiny. I like that we have different art styles. I think that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I agree. Keeps their personality
true.
where it came from. Big true.
Big true.
Big true.
Nathan also asked, he says, why does FFG give discard to reroll favoritism with 3 spoilers? I think they just
I know. No one even listens to them.
Yeah, we just all waited till he posted the spoilers.
Wait, they got spoilers?
We got 3 last time. We'll let them have some love this time. It's all right. I'll allow it.
I mean, they are the second best team in Destiny now. So
Dang, shots fired at us and AVG. Look at that.
What a timeline that we live.
What a timeline. Kylo Riggs says, which balance of the Force buff will have the biggest impact? Which will have the least? I'll probably echo Reflex the thoughts that you gave on the 3 of, like, Zeb, Finn, and Jabba. If you're gonna make me pick one, I want to pick Jabba just because I think I hope that.
Yeah. I agree with you. It shocked me how good his die was, so I'm gonna say Jabba too. I think the other two, and it's just because of the archetype they fit in. Like Jabba fits into what's good right now.
Yeah.
Into a 3 wide, where the other two were built more for 2 wides. So I'll pick Jabba, and then for least impacting, all the rest of them.
Everybody else.
For least
Everybody else.
impacting, I say Bo-Katan.
I'll say Grievous. For least. Flock, who's your top or favorite?
My top?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about this. I don't know. I'm leaning towards, I like Jabba as well,
Yeah.
but also I do like Maul.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'll pick if I have to pick up one bad one, it's Callus.
Yeah, top Zeb,
Yeah,
bad is
Callus, bad.
Bo-Katan.
Who's your worst, Flock?
probably Callus as well.
Callus. Yeah, I'm gonna go Grievous. Smurley of Smurley. I love how he types out Smurley, but I still say Smurl, like Smurley. Which DJ Jack win a prime with? Probably none, because I don't think I'll ever play DJ. Literally the worst experience and card in the game. It's literally worse than Mill. I don't know why they printed it. That in Order 66.
I don't think I've ever played against DJ.
Well, you're lucky you don't hang out with Flockton and Brian. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really into DJ for a long time.
You brought him to
I don't-
Nova in 2018.
I brought it. Yeah, I brought him to Nova. I played Snoop DJ.
You missed on a strength of
I
schedule.
missed on SOS. Yep, I was very close. And again this year. Uh,
Well, no, we
No.
lost.
No.
It was
Yeah, we
if
bubbled
you
out.
6-2, you made it. We just suck, so that's why we missed.
yeah, good time. Always on the edge.
Always on the edge.
Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Well, to be the bridesmaid, you probably have to make top cut in finals. So we're not even that. We're like
Oof.
we're the person in the back row.
Fuck, you good over there?
It's a big oof.
Oh, okay. It sounded like you're in pain.
Nathan says, "Are these the same Patreon questions that people ask other CCs for their podcast?" Probably. Maybe
Yeah,
not as
pretty
dumb.
much.
We get a lot more dumb ones. Although Alan's not here. Alan's not here with his like repeated when is Del Fist getting banned. I think he's starting his no good to be dead and fist restriction list.
Is this the first set of podcast questions that Inception hasn't said but put Smurley on you cowards?
It might be. Probably it's because we got Reflex on.
You
He's good with
cowards.
It's true.
Banana Crapshoot says, "Why does your basement have more players than most locals?"
Rip.
It really
So
is.
true.
It's so funny because literally Brian and I kept trying to go to stores to build up a community. And eventually we're just like, all right, let's just play at my house. And we started inviting people. Now we're up to 6. And it's like we've had 2 people for the past like 6 months.
And now we can actually go to a store with these 6 people. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not, though.
I wouldn't change.
Probably just stick with Jack's place.
I wouldn't take you if I was a store.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But what is also funny is that the 6 people, me and Brian are the only consistent players. 2 of them have taken long breaks, and 2 of them are brand new. So it's like
Yeah.
talking about like getting new people into the game. Like it's hilarious that we're not getting people who've kind of been in and out. Like 2 of them are literally just bought a bunch of boxes and started playing.
One runs a podcast. Sort of.
Behind the dice.
Depending on what month it is. Yeah.
Well, he does more gameplay videos. He doesn't do podcasts.
Takes long hiatuses, as it
Oh.
were.
Well, my favorite is Mike, who is actually featured on the YouTube we posted today. Versus
Mike's
Brian.
kicked my ass every
So,
time.
Mike, he's doing well for being new. But how he got into the game is that when we would hang out and stuff, he would like to make jokes about Destiny and make fun of me for playing it. But so he wanted to learn more about it so he could make fun of me for specific things. But he started watching games and he's like, "This looks fun," and then he just bought into the game. So I was like, "Hey, I'll take it." So he can't make.
I'm
fun
having
of
a
me
lot of
but-
fun with the Tuesday nights. Honestly, it's really
Yeah.
it's really enjoyable.
It's been a blast.
I agree. Yeah, it'll be
Yep.
awful when Flockton comes back and it'll be like, "Yo, Tulls and DJ."
Yep. Oh
no,
yeah.
no.
It'll be
Sorry,
Tulls and
Pyre.
Grievous now.
Pyre.
Pyre DJ.
Oh boy, can't wait for you to come back, buddy.
Get ready for all that, dude.
Get ready for all that, dude.
I'll do all the indirect damage and roll 2/2s.
Oh frick yeah, dude.
Okay.
Get
Yeah,
picked.
Yep.
If you had to design a Baby Yoda card, what would it be?
I would make his special a lot like Force Jump. That's all I know. Probably like a 5'7", 6 health, right? All right. You've got one shield special, blank. And then the special is like turn a die to a blank, just like a Force Jump.
Pretty sure that's terrible, but I like the idea. I like the thematic idea you're going with it.
How good is he really supposed to be? He's a baby.
Dude, he lifted a rhino
The
thing
best
up.
card in the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
You roll a special and you win the game. Is that more in line with what he should be? All right, cool. We noted.
I always want to hate him as like a 1-cost support, and I don't know. It'd be cool to have him as character though.
I'd like to know what he's called officially.
No, his card better be Baby Yoda, or I'm rioting.
I'm pretty hyped for Mandalorian characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like Cara Dune.
All these like random cameo one episode like actors and actresses from other shows is pretty cool.
Yeah. Mando's been amazing. I'll go with Brian's card. Sounds real meta breaking. I'll take it. The roll a special one.
I think it's like an uncommon kind of thing. Not an uncommon, a rare. It doesn't even have a die.
Yeah, that's it. Can't roll a special.
Activate, win the game.
Yeah, there you go.
Ooh, maybe he's a diceless character, but you activate him and turn a die to any side.
Huh.
5 health, 5
That's
cost.
interesting.
I like that actually a lot better. I'm gonna go
I
with
like
that.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this episode to Jeremy.
He's gonna be like, no thanks, that guy's an idiot.
Yep.
He's definitely right with that.
Yeah.
Big true.
Big true.
Next one is from Mantro 1. Your rankings for all the Star Wars movies.
Jedi Geek Girl, you're gonna want to tune out right now.
That's Reflex and Brian are about to argue.
Hey man, everyone's allowed to be wrong.
Including you.
All right, ready? Here's my my highly coveted list of rankings. I'm gonna go 5, 4.
Lame.
It's a cop out, is what it is actually.
Yep.
5, 4. Solo 3, 6. 7.
Nope, wrong.
Rogue One 8, 1. Fight me.
It would
Fight
have been
me on-
fine. I had no argument until you put 7 above 8.
Ugh, I hate 8. I can't do it.
Has the
There's-
best scene in Star Wars history.
Okay, no, I like the throne room scene, but the rest of it is trash.
Name a memorable scene from 7. There
7,
isn't. There's nothing I want to go back and watch.
Han Solo. All I gotta
His
say.
face.
Jesus.
I
His
love
face
that scene.
shows everything you need to know about that movie.
I do love that scene on the bridge, though. That is kind of cool. Everything else sucks. Finn drinking water out of the trough of that big space pig is stupid.
That was gonna
And
be my
gross.
memorable scene, man. Come on.
The only argument I'll allow is the Falcon chase on Jim.
Well,
Uh,
how about when Kylo stopped the laser bolt?
Meh.
I like that. That was epic.
Meh.
I thought it was epic.
It's cooler when I did it in Fallen Order.
Yeah. Oh, it's such big true.
We need character from Fallen Order.
Cal
That's what we
Kestis,
Yes,
please.
please.
BD1 support, Cal Kestis. give me.
They killed it. Yes, please.
That was such a good game.
I need more. And next time, don't give me those ponchos. Give me
You
some
really
real
like
ass.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
that
Jack,
was-
write that down.
it's horrible.
I got excited.
Oh, okay, I'll write it down, dude.
Oh, that's right. There's no cursing. I don't know how I've been doing.
I don't think we
Fantastic. Better than me.
All right.
have. They need Jaro Tapal in there though, as well. On top of
Dude,
He-
that dude's a
Yes.
boss. A
Yes.
boss.
So yeah, so that's your Baby Yoda. That's the top rankings. There we go. That's what we were talking about. Rather than go into it, I'll say my favorite is 5. Least favorite is 1. Real
I guys
generic.
all hate on one.
Can't stand 1.
One
Just
just
vanilla
doesn't.
answer.
One's really up there for me. I love
just think
Jar
that-
Jar.
One doesn't have a cohesive story, Or not that it doesn't have a cohesive story. There's so many parts of the story that made me tune out real fast.
One does have the best song in Star Wars history, though.
Big true.
I'll say
How about those
all right,
memorable moments for me?
number 2 is Rogue One, if that makes you happy. Makes it a little more spicy,
Yeah, yeah.
probably. Flock, what's your favorite and least favorite?
My favorite's Rogue One, 100%.
There you go. What's your least favorite?
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Fair.
That means 7 is above 8 in Flockton's list as well.
Seven's not bad. I don't think it's. I kind of like it. I didn't like it when
Not
I
even
first.
a movie.
I didn't like it when I first watched it. When I walked to the movie theater, I was like, that was a lot of hype for what I was expecting. But then after I watched it like 5 more times, I was like, I can see some of this. I like it.
Yeah, I definitely like to have to watch a movie 6 times to enjoy it.
Yeah, I had to watch it 6 times. I'm like, yeah, it's not bad.
It's pretty much how I started to enjoy The Last Jedi. It's like the 5th time. I'm like, okay, I can stand this. It's all right.
I just put on the throne room scene. I'm good.
Yeah, it's all you need.
The throne room scene and crate, and I'm good with that. That's
Just
it.
ignore the bad choreography in the throne room scene. You're good.
Yeah.
True.
Listen, I love me some paprika too. So
And then Nathan's last question: which has made you guys regret asking for Patreon questions the most? Probably
letting
us
Nathan in the Discord for one.
Yeah, man, these New Zealanders are just crazy.
Yeah, man.
I don't really remember any really jarring ones.
I've been blackout for the past like hour and a half, so I don't remember anything.
Big true.
Big true.
Big true.
All right, we will start to wrap up. Reflex, it's been awesome having you. Thanks for coming on. Do you have some plugs that you want to give out?
I mean, not really. Just we've been working really hard on streaming and making sure to get more events out to the community. So I've done personally 2 Orlando Primes. We're going to do the next Orlando Prime in December, at the end of December. And then we'll also be at, although I don't think we're going to stream the Tampa Prime. I think Tampa has that covered, but just support them. Shout out to the Florida community and all my loopers. Appreciate the community. Definitely Keep is the only reason that I do this. So that's about it. Thanks for checking out our streams. Hopefully everyone enjoys them.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, Hyperloops, if you haven't checked them out already, they do 3 articles a week as well and stuff. And their Patreon, their community is great as well. I've been a part of it for coming up on 2 years, which is crazy to think about. I've been in that Discord for that long. It's funny because nobody even thinks about it because I don't think anybody knew who I was until Worlds. And then when people realized I was in the Discord for like the past 6 months, they're like, oh, hello. Like when I put in for my 1 year token, Mike was just like, what? I'm like, yeah, I've been here. But yeah, so that's awesome. Awesome that you guys are doing streaming as well. On our front, I guess on that note for streaming, we won't be doing the 14th. It is like a 4-hour drive, so we don't want to be getting back and having to stay through finals just with that long of a drive. And so, yeah, we won't be streaming the 14th, but I think the next one we have lined up will be, I believe the 18th is our next one that we're planning to go to.
Are we streaming our anniversary event, Jack?
I don't even know if that's happening. I've been trying to coordinate
that's a
that.
shame.
That's been great. Yeah. But it might end up working because FFG hasn't scheduled events to where we could do something in like March or April and have an event. That's something.
Oh, I thought the event was just going to be at your place at this point.
No, I mean, we could, but I don't really have anything. The stuff I've been saving up for prizes for that, I'm still going to save for like a big event. I'd like to do it at a brewery or something like that. I don't really care to go to a local game store at this point.
Wow, I can't imagine how many people will attract at a brewery playing Star Wars Destiny.
Well, I
So it'll be like Chinatown again.
yeah, we played with Chip at the American Bar in Chinatown.
People are just like, "What are you guys doing? Why and why here? I don't know what is going on."
Yeah. I don't really care what they think, so that's fine. But yeah, so Golden Dice, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Twitter, Twitch, all that fun stuff. Be sure to check us out. We have started recording some of our weekly gameplay that we've been doing at my house, and so posting that, so you can be sure to check that out on YouTube if you're interested in watching some live gameplay. But on that, we like to give our guest the sign off. So Reflex, if you just want to sign off with any saying or anything, feel free to do that.
Dalvin Cook, always and forever.
It's like SOLOSOLO. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm hunting solo. I'm hunting solo. I'm hunting solo. Solo. Feeling like a star.